now. Are you ready?
Corner where the big boys play. Oh, here we are. Welcome back to another episode of Ask StreamYard. This is going to be a great show today. I feel like I'm sitting up kind of high today. I was going to stand today for today's stream, but I don't know. Sometimes when I'm doing like screen shares and demos and stuff, I kind of like be sitting. So we're sitting today. Hello, everybody. All kinds of people chiming in. We got Oregon in the house. Hello. Oh, we got Nicaragua. Mariano J is here again. Hello, my friend. It's good to see you. Of course, everybody is here. Jim Lawyer's here. Hello, Jim. How are you doing today? So yes, let me know where you're watching from. This is the Ask StreamYard show. This is our weekly show we do every Wednesday. We've been on a roll. We've been doing this weekly for a while, and it seems like you guys are really loving the show. So let me know your thoughts about this weekly show that we're doing. I am your host, Melanie Dyann Howe, and I love doing this because what we do in this show is we take questions that are being asked by our users, being asked by StreamYard users, and we take it, we pick ones, we're like, ooh, that's a juicy one. And then we take a deep dive and we come on the show and we answer the question. And I like to pick questions that have, they're a little bit more than just support-oriented questions. They're very much strategy or just, hey, I could spend 90 minutes or 60 minutes talking about that, right? So if you've got a question, definitely feel free to post that question in our Facebook community or even on Twitter or wherever, but use the hashtag AskStreamYard. That actually helps us find it. And you know what? If we pick your question and we feature your question on a show, guess what we're going to do? We're going to send you one of these t-shirts, right? We're going to send you a t-shirt. And then we also, of course, if you do have any of our StreamYard swag, we of course want you to take a picture of you and your swag and post it on your social media and tag StreamYard, of course, for sure. So got lots of people here hanging out with us. Oh, we got Florida. Pixel Pia is back here again from Florida. So that's good to see. This is a great idea. As a UX researcher, I approve. Great. Love it. Thank you, Leah, for the feedback. Definitely excited. Typical Tyrick is in Turks and Caicos. I am feeling a little jealous about that one. It's a little chilly here today, a little rainy here in Indiana in the United States. I'm sure it's warm and sunny where you are, of course. So we got Germany in the house. We got Minnesota checking in. We got Doug from SmackDown Outdoors. Great to see you here as well. And then Germany, oh my gosh, we got all kinds of people. So, all right. Here's what we're going to do. So today we are going to be talking about sharing images in your streams. This is actually a really interesting question that our friend John Belcher posted in our Facebook group. He said, what are your tips for sharing photos on screen? We typically share 7 or 8 per episode, and I'm currently using the share screen tab and have each photo open in a tab so it shows as a separate tab. What are your secrets? Well, John, I will tell you, there are no secrets over on the Ask StreamYard show, but I'm absolutely going to share with you various ways that you can share images in your live streams using StreamYard. So that is the thing, that this question, there is no one size fits all answer to the question. We have lots of different ways that you can actually share images in your stream. And there are some good ways, there are some better ways, and then there are some ways that maybe you're not aware of that might even be the best way for you, right? And it all kind of depends on what kind of images you're trying to present, what kind of images you're showing, how you want that overall look to be. Do you want to be on screen with those images? Do you want them to be full screen? Lots of stuff that we're going to be breaking down today. So definitely want to make sure that we're going to be getting, it's going to be a juicy one today. We're not just talking about, oh, you can do it this way. We're going to talk about best practices. And I'm also going to show you some tools that'll help you maybe make those images look even better on screen. So now before we get started, I do want to let everybody know that we have a Facebook community. And this is actually one of the places where everybody is posting questions. I love our Facebook group. It's an amazing community of a lot of live streamers and StreamYard users. And honestly, this is where we love to serve you. We love to jump in there, answer your questions. questions, help you make your live streams better, help you utilize the StreamYard tool. And then, of course, we also create lots of content on YouTube, which where many of you are watching today over on our YouTube channel, because we are multi-streaming. We are streaming to Facebook, and we're streaming to our Facebook group. We're streaming to YouTube. We're on LinkedIn. We're even over on Twitter. So definitely, we are all over the place today, as we always are on our Ask StreamYard show. But if you're not part of our Facebook group, definitely join over there, because this is a great place for you to ask questions like the one that we're going to be answering today, and get help from the community as well as our StreamYard support, our StreamYard people. I know Christian is very active in our group as well, and you know, he's super helpful. I don't know if the guy sleeps. I'm always like, Christian, do you sleep at night? Because like, you're always there. Every time I see a question, he's already there helping somebody out. So very helpful community from the StreamYard team as well as StreamYard users. So definitely join that. Now, before we go too much further, those of you that are used to watching the show, right? A lot of you are here. You're return viewers. You know the drill. This is not a place for feature requests, right? We're going to be talking about how to share images in your live streams today. But if you do have a feature request, or maybe feedback on some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you, do me a huge favor. Go over to StreamYard.com/contact. You will see a link right there to submit a feature request. This is the best place for you to get heard and for our development team to see what it is that you want out of the StreamYard platform. So definitely, all those feature requests, I know you all have great ideas. Do me a favor. Don't put them in the comments. Go over to this forum. That is the best place for you to make sure that your feature request goes into a queue that gets reviewed by our product team and our development team. And don't feel like you can't ask for something that you haven't asked for before or mentioned before. Just make sure you go in there and submit it. That's the best place for you to get your feature requests seen and heard and reviewed and maybe approved and implemented, right? So StreamYard's been very busy on releasing a lot of new features today. One of those new features we are definitely going to be talking about today, because it's absolutely a great way to share images in your live videos. So we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff like that today. So, okay. Are you guys ready or what? I think this is going to be a great show. So you guys look like you're ready to go in the comments. Definitely checking out everybody, making sure we're all doing well, because I always like to check on you all, and that's what we're going to do. So, okay, my friends, we are excited that, so Jennifer, yes, timely, she says, we're doing a live stream tomorrow that involves sharing photos. Can't wait to see how to do it better. Yeah, so Jennifer, hopefully some of the stuff I share with you today are maybe some things that you haven't thought about, or maybe even some new ideas. But Jennifer, I know you're an amazing community member as well, and super good at everything that you do. So we're definitely going to check it out. Okay, let's see. All right, everybody's ready to rock and roll, so I'm pretty excited. So, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We are going to definitely dive in, but real fast. So real fast for Scott. Can you see the comments from destinations you're streaming to? I definitely can. Now, I cannot see comments from Twitter, because those comments, the API from Twitter doesn't feed those back to the StreamYard platform, but I can see Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I can see all those comments. So definitely awesome thing about, definitely also an awesome thing about the multi-streaming feature of StreamYard. So, all right, everybody that's joining now, we're about ready to dive in. Again, we are going to be answering John Belcher's question about the best way to share photos. You know, he says, hey, we like to share photos. What's the best way to do it? So this question honestly comes up a lot. And I think it's because a lot of people have shows where they're showcasing things. Maybe you have a show where you want to show a portfolio. You want to show your work, images of your work. Maybe you're a realtor and you want to go live and you want to share pictures of some of your recent listings. Maybe you're an outdoors enthusiast and you want to share photos of some recent places that you visited, right? Maybe you are a graphic designer and you want to show your artwork. You want to show your actual like images that you've done, like graphic designs that you've done. There are so many scenarios why people want to be able to share photos. And there's a lot of ways you can do it. So there's a lot of ways you can do it with our free plan. And then if you're on our basic or professional plan, there are other ways that you can share photos as well. So I definitely want to dive into the various ways to do it. So that's what we're going to be doing now. Now, if you have questions, do me a huge favor. We're definitely going to have a live Q&A. So I'm definitely going to do live Q&A later in the show. So hang on to your questions, okay? Hang on to your questions. You can absolutely ask me questions as we go, but just hang on to those because I will actually be checking in on you. And then that would be the best time for you to post those questions, because here's the thing I love about this show. Every week, more and more of you are showing up live and you're awesome in the comments, but oh my gosh, I don't want to miss any questions. So hang on to those questions. I'll get to them here shortly. So, okay, first way that you can actually, quite frankly, this is probably the most obvious way to most of our users who are using the platform a lot, and that would be to use the share function. So down in your studio, when you are in StreamYard, you can share your screen. Anyone can share their screen. Free plans, you can also share your screen. And so that's probably one of the more obvious ways that people are used to sharing photos. But one of the things that happens, let me pull up some photos here so you can see what this is going to look like on screen. This is the first way. Now I've got other ways I'm going to talk about with everybody today that we're going to jump into as well. So, okay, let me jump in here. Hold on. I'm getting there. Okay. I lost my folder. Where's my folder? Okay, I got some pictures for everybody. Okay. All right. This is going to be kind of fun actually, because I don't know. You guys are going to get to know me a little bit today. How about that? Okay, so here's the deal. I'm on a PC. All right, so I'm on a PC, and it is going to be a little different for Mac users. Now, what I've done is I've opened up an image on my other screen. Okay, so my other monitor, I have two monitors, and I'm going to go and I'm going to share my screen. So again, down in StreamYard, you see you've got the little controls at the bottom. Sharing your screen is definitely what we're going to do here. So I'm going to be sharing my first monitor, and then I'm going to add it to the stream. So there is the first picture. I wanted to make it fun today. So we're going to have a little fun today. You're going to notice here that what you see here is you see the whole image application, right? So I'm using, like I said, I'm on a PC, and we're just using the regular Microsoft good old like photo application that's open. Okay, so this works for sure, right? But there's certainly some disadvantages because look, y'all can see all the other things, whatnot, right? Now, you can, of course, go to a slideshow and it's going to fill the whole screen. So again, and it's going to actually automatically go. So look, Albie Tastic says, is that you? Are you kidding me? Really? How many people have this hairstyle in the world, right? Yes, that's me. That is me, and that is a real photo of me catching a fish. So, okay, so James Hicks says, I'm here for the pictures. Okay, don't worry, we're going to keep everything totally appropriate today. Nothing too crazy. So, all right, this would be the easiest way. Share your screen, open the pictures up. But again, you're, just depending on the application you have. Now, because of the share screen version, you have all these different layouts to choose from in the StreamYard layout. So you have this one right here, which is mostly full screen. You have the picture-in-picture now, right? So you have picture-in-picture, that is a new one. You have full screen, where you are just, the whole screen is being shared, right? And then we have this one, which is the most popular. But the picture-in-picture is a new one that I wanted to point out to everybody because honestly, this is a great way, a newer way that maybe you're not familiar with to share photos. So again, depending on where you are, the application you're using, I'm simply sharing my screen and I'm doing the picture-in-picture. This is allowing me to use the application to fill the screen. Now, one thing you're going to notice here is if you see here, my image is a square image. It is not filling the whole screen, and that is because it's a square image. If you're going to use this feature, and you're going to use the share screen, I highly recommend you either edit your photos, crop your photos, or pick some photos that fill the screen, and therefore you would need a 16:9 ratio. Now, one thing that's kind of crazy is that cell phones these days, you have to actually change the setting, right? You have to change the setting to get it to actually be that size. iPhone standard is going to not even fill the full screen. So you got to kind of make sure, think about that when you're taking photos. Use an editing application maybe to crop those photos in. We're going to talk about that as well here in just a moment. So that's the first way I wanted to talk about when it comes to, so lots of funny, so I knew SmackDown Outdoors would like this because quite frankly, come on, right? There's shows about fishing and things like that. So yes, That's a real fish. That's a bass. That's a largemouth bass here in Indiana. It's a private pond, a friend of mine's pond. And that thing was like 3.7 pounds, I think. Pretty big bass, honestly, for Indiana. Definitely when, you're just out there getting ready to go to a Friday night football game. Definitely was not dressed for fishing, but we had time and I thought, I'm going to grab my pole. So I told you I was going to try to have fun with this today. These are ways you can have fun, right? Yeah. Dawn says, you're too dressed up to be fishing. Totally true, Dawn. I was not planning to fish. I had my stuff with me and I was like, I'm going to kill some time. So I went threw it out and hooked that thing. So really funny. Now I told you I wanted to have fun with this because this is a way you can have fun too. I think sharing photos is a great way to be adding interest to your stream. So, you can go on live video and be like this, the whole live video, and that's great. I could tell you a story about this time where we were getting ready to go to my boyfriend's nephew's football game. And we got there early and, we were kind of like hanging out, but we weren't leaving for another hour. And it just happened to be at my, boyfriend's brother's house where he has this great pond. And oh my gosh, I had my poles with me and I caught this huge fish and it was so much fun. It was so random. But the funny thing is I was literally not dressed up to fish. And so here I am looking all bougie fishing, right? Okay. I just told you the story. That story is a lot more interesting when I can pull up a picture. Is it not? I mean, come on. Proof is in the pudding. There's the photo of the bass that I caught, and that is the story, literally. So the whole point of this is that sharing photos is something you should be trying to do. We have lots of ways to do it. We're going to dive into it. But I really like this topic because I do think that it's an amazing way for you to, again, just have more fun. Your audience is going to get to know you. Look how much fun you all are having. You guys are thinking it's really funny about the whole bass thing, right? Talking just says all about the bass, right? Seriously, this is actually a fun way to get connected with your audience by sharing stuff about you, sharing photos. A picture's worth 1,000 words and it could be worth 1,000 comments, honestly. So I just made that up. I think that's actually pretty, a picture could be worth 1,000 comments. There you go, right? Okay, so here's the deal. That's in the photo application. So all I did was I opened it up on my computer and I shared my screen. Now, as I mentioned, this isn't the best way, in my opinion, because it's just in the application. However, if you are live in the moment and your audience is engaging with you and you're like, somebody asked a question about something and you're like, I have a picture. Don't feel like you can't just pull it up like that inside the application. Do it anyway. Just simply use that share screen function. You can also, if you're using a laptop or you only have one monitor. So what I did was I shared my whole screen. You can also just share the application. So that's a whole screen share feature that is actually awesome and great, right? Now, let's talk about another way that we can be sharing photos because we are talking about honestly, sharing images during your live stream because one of our users asked the question, hey, what are the best ways to do it? How is everybody doing this? There are various ways. Now, the next way that you can do it is add images as overlays. I like this option, but there's a couple things to keep in mind. Now, first of all, an overlay is a graphic that you upload into StreamYard that overlays. So everything is done in layers. So everything that happens in our StreamYard studio happens in layers. Now, keep in mind what you see right here, that is not an overlay. That is a banner. That's a banner I can turn on and turn off. That is accessible to everyone. That's where you just go in and you type in what you want your banners to say and you select them and you turn them off. That's not an overlay, so keep that in mind. The other thing I want to point out is our little logo up here. That's also not an overlay. That's actually the logo or the bug, as some video people call it. I've never understood that. I don't know why it's called a bug. It's whatever, but that is the logo that's uploaded to the logo section inside our StreamYard studio. We can turn that off and we can turn it on. If you're on a free plan, then that's what you see and you can't turn it off, right? So I just wanted to point out those aren't overlays. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off everything. An overlay is literally an image. Like this is an overlay. This is a custom graphic. Everyone in their StreamYard accounts has this in there. This would be an overlay where you can see you've got information up here. And then of course we have information down here. Now you can also just do a full screen overlay. Okay, so a full screen overlay can happen. And what a full screen overlay looks like would be like this. That is a full screen overlay right there. So that is the 16:9 ratio graphic. So you also 1980 by 1080 would work. There's other ratios there. I can never remember them, to be totally honest with you. But that's a full screen overlay that I clicked on and I'm displaying it. Now, of course, as you know, that overlay is covering everything because, as I said, it's an overlay. So if you liked that view I showed you earlier where you were on screen with the image, you maybe aren't going to want to use the overlay version. The other thing to keep in mind is that you have to be on one of our paid plans to actually share an overlay. That would be our Essentials plan, which is currently on sale only, I think, through this tomorrow. I want to say tomorrow or this week. That also includes our basic plan, and it includes our professional plan. You can add overlays to your streams and display them. Now, the picture I showed you earlier was not a 16:9 full screen photo, remember? So I've got another one to show you that I went ahead and uploaded into the overlay section. So this is something, if you're going to use overlays and you like that, keep in mind, you probably want it to be full screen, and here's why. So here's another fishing photo, right? Hi. I'm behind the overlay, but as you can see, this picture does not fill the whole screen. And what happens in StreamYard is StreamYard actually is going to put it directly in the middle. So it's going to maximize the height and it's going to center that photo. You cannot arrange the overlay. We're going to talk about, if you like that look though, of it being on screen, kind of being wherever you want, we can talk about a few options for that. But if you do upload an image as an overlay, it simply is going to display over you. It's going to center that photo. And so if it is not a full photo, it's not going to cover you up all the way. So it's kind of a funky thing, right? So definitely keep that in mind. Okay, so I thought it would be funny if we just kind of like hung out and I showed you some fishing photos, right? So it's kind of fun. I mean, it is what it is. Jennifer says, holy carp. That is actually a red snapper. It is not a carp. It is a red snapper. That is down in Florida in the Panhandle. And wow, it was huge. And it was very, very heavy. Like it was heavy. I had a hard time getting it into the boat. But okay, so overlays is another way you can share those images that I wanted to point out. I think I saw a quick comment about it. So Albie Tastic says, makes it very attention grabbing. I love what you're saying here because I agree. The photos, right? The photos are going to grab attention. They're going to stop the scroll. If someone's scrolling through and they see that you're live, and again, if it's just you on screen, that's great. I'm sure your beautiful face will grab their attention. But what if you're sharing photos, right? Then they're going to be like, whoa, what's going on here? What's going on? And they're going to be like checking it out. Okay, so that's definitely one of those things for sure. So I do agree with Albie Tastic that this makes it very attention grabbing. Okay, all right, let me see here. Checking in on SmackDown Outdoors. Now she's just trying to make me jealous. Maybe I am a little bit. I don't know. I love to fish. I gotta say, I love to fish. Okay, so here's so Coco T TV says, thanks for this info because I'm new to StreamYard. Awesome. Super excited that you are finding this helpful for sure. So we are going to keep moving. I've got some more things I want to share with everybody. So I'm just checking in on everybody, making sure everything is good. Yes, and very delicious. Red snapper is pretty delicious, I will say. It's delicious. Okay. Cherie Renee Johnson says, I changed the size of my overlays to half screen, making it transparent, and while in Canva, position them to the extra right. Yes. So I love what Cherie is saying here because this is absolutely one of the things I was going to mention. So if you liked the version I showed you earlier, which we'll go back to that, let's just go ahead and pull up another photo here. We're going to pull up one that's a beautiful photo of another lake. And I'm going to do this one again because I want to point this out. So again, if you're sharing your screen, you're on screen with it, right? You have multiple ways you can do it. This is actually a really great way to share photos because we call this the news layout. So it's kind of like the news anchor. So what happens is StreamYard takes you, centers you, and then what you're sharing, your screen share is going to be displayed right here next to you. Now notice your background is also coming through. So again, you have to keep in mind your different options, and you have to make sure it's what you want. Some people don't like this version because they don't want the background to come through. You might want to consider a contrasting background. So you notice here, I literally blend into our background. That is not intentional. It's just that I love the purple lights for my streams. And then our StreamYard, our Ask StreamYard color branding happens to be purple and yellow. So if I were sharing photos, it's kind of weird. It almost looks like a mistake because of what you see here. I would maybe consider a dark background to add that contrast, right? So these are things to play around with and practice as you're figuring out how you want to do it. But you also have the picture-in-picture version, and of course, this version, full screen, whatnot. So if you want to be on camera with your images, right, then you could do what Cherie is mentioning. Here's the tricky part about what she's talking about. You are going to still be centered. So if you notice here, notice how it moved me. When I go to this view, it moves me over and it keeps me centered. I love this because I don't have to like get out of the way of my image. So I'll show you what we're talking about here in just a moment. But that is a great point that Cherie brings up that I am going to demo that for you. I am going to show that to you guys for sure. So, okay. Let's see here. All right. So awesome. So Bernadine Bowen, man, I need to like slow down. Bernadine Bowen, there. Sorry about that. I have photos for most of my stories, about 20 per show. Love it. So Bernadine is telling stories, she's sharing information, and she's sharing images for sure. I love it. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about, because we talked about using images as overlays. I actually saw someone in our group one time was saying that they use the backgrounds. They actually upload them as backgrounds, and then they have to take themselves off screen and come back on. I would not recommend that. I would recommend just using the overlays if you're doing that. But here's what I want to talk about. I've shown you a few ways that you can share these things. Let me show you a new way. So this is a new feature. We now have the ability for you to actually upload PDFs, Google Slides, and Google Slides and PowerPoint files into your StreamYard studio. This is a brand new feature that just came out. So maybe this is your first time hearing about it. I am going to show you how this works. Now, there's a few things to keep in mind here as well that I'll cover, of course. Again, this supports PowerPoint slides, Google Slides, and PDFs. If you are using Keynote, which I know a lot of you are Mac users and you use Keynote, you would want to export that file as a PDF, and then you can upload that file as a PDF. Okay, so that's another way that's going to give you another option here. So let me show you what this looks like and how you click and what you're clicking on right now. So basically here we are in the StreamYard studio, and down at the bottom, hold the phone, hold the stream. Let me play that again without the banner covering everything up. Now, this is a silent video. So I have a video uploaded into the video section of StreamYard. There's no audio, so it's not going to mute my microphone. So I'm going to talk to you as this video is playing and show you what's going on. Okay, let's try that again. All right, so here you are. Down at the bottom, you see the share. And now you have slides. Upload any of those items. You're going to click the image, upload it from your file or from your computer, and simply add it to StreamYard. It's going to save, but it's going to add it down here at the bottom, where you will then decide when and where, how you add it to your stream. So it's processing, there it's there, add it to the stream. You can advance the slides right on screen. The audience does not see that right there. You can also advance it down below, and then you can even jump from one slide to another right there. Super, super cool. And then of course you have all those different layouts to choose from for your slides. So really, really, really cool. Brand new feature that just came out. I picked this topic this week because I literally think this is a game changer in how we might be sharing photos. Now, there's a few things to keep in mind. The same kind of scenario goes with the ratio, the size of these files. You're gonna want to select a 16:9 layout if possible. Now, a lot of us have PowerPoints and Keynotes and even Google Slides that are 4:3, right? And what 4:3 ratio is is, let me show you actually. I think this one is, yes. Okay, so this is a PowerPoint that is old. It's a really old PowerPoint that I have that I did for an old presentation on like the customer journey, I think. Yeah. So literally you notice this is a 4x3. It is not going to fill the space. So you notice that my background is coming into play here. So if I go to picture in picture and I advance my slides, it's not filling the whole screen. Again, my background is showing. So the same thing's gonna happen if you create a slideshow with any of these Google Slides, PowerPoint, or even a PDF that isn't essentially that 16:9 ratio, okay, which is a landscape. So this is what a 4:3 ratio looks like, PowerPoint slide that's been converted. Now, as you can see here, I can go through each of these items. We can talk through all these things, you know, all kinds of stuff, right? So an old presentation that I had. Now, what's really, really slick about this new feature is that you upload the file and it saves inside StreamYard. I love this, and here's why I love it. You can do some prep work. I'm all about prepping. So think about it. You're sharing, you know, Bernadine said she shares 20 photos. She doesn't want to do that like midstream, in the middle of the stream. What if you could go in, create a file, a nice PowerPoint or a PDF file, and just get the work done and then upload it in like Monday for your Thursday stream? So awesome. And if you're using StreamYard Teams and you have a teammate that's helping you prep your streams, they can go in and upload that file for you and it saves inside there. Maybe you have a particular slide deck or slideshow that you use often, and you want to just keep it in there as a digital asset. This is a new way you can do that. So this is the deal. I love the screen share. Obviously, you can totally open a PowerPoint on your second monitor, use their old school screen share, and do it exactly the same way. The difference is that you have to make sure you're in presentation mode. And also, if you're using one screen or a laptop, that was a little hard. That was a little bit challenging because of the way the windows had to work, right? And so that's definitely this is a very big added benefit of just using the slides right inside StreamYard and advancing through them. The other thing that's nice about this is that now that we have, you know, this screen share version, you're also gonna be able to share or screen share, but also upload your slides. The slide share and screen share are separate. So you can have your screen ready to share and your slides ready to share separately instead of, you know, toggling and re-sharing stuff. That might feel funky to those of you that maybe haven't used that feature yet, but those of you that are using our screen share feature probably know what I'm talking about. So it's definitely super, super cool. So Sophie-Anne, I love it, says, when I discovered slide sharing, it was a game changer. Create a PDF that includes my images and share the PDF as a presentation. Wow. Yes. So SmackDown Outdoor says less storage space taken up on your computer. Absolutely, for sure. Controlling the slides from the studio is a game changer. It really does make it a lot easier. I will be honest with you, because as I said, you can do it over here, but now you can do it right inside the studio. Also, this is the other thing. I talked about StreamYard Teams. I talked about other, you know, maybe teammates helping you backstage. Maybe you have a co-host. I know SmackDown Outdoors, for example, has additional people. Guess what? They can advance the slides too. That's a game changer. Game changer right there. So not only can you upload these slides, your co-host can also help you advance those slides as well. That's huge. I love that. I think that's a big, big, big thing. So definitely. Yeah, so Video for Bosses says, I need to do this. It seems more seamless. Totally think it is too. Now, here's the thing. As I mentioned, just keep in mind that size and the layouts of it, right? So understand how you want it to look. So, you know, we've got lots of images in here. So here's, oops, what was I doing? I forget what I was doing. I remember what I was going to do. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what I talked about earlier, which is maybe your images aren't that ratio, that 16:9 ratio, okay? But before I get into that, I do want to make sure that I check on everybody in the comments. Everybody's got a lot going on here. Okay, so Pixel PS says, if you upload from Google Drive, does StreamYard save it? Yes. So if you noticed, one of the options is Google Slides. So this right here, this is actually, this presentation is actually, these are Google Slides. So this was a PowerPoint that I converted to Google Slides, and that's actually what it is. It's actually it's in your StreamYard file. It's there. So it basically puts a copy inside StreamYard. So it does save it in there. So it will save these files for you. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that Google Slides is free. So if you're like, I don't have PowerPoint, I don't have Keynote, Google Slides is free. So this is a free way for you to create your presentations and then upload them. But we're talking about images, right? So we're talking about images. So I want to make sure that you guys have great questions. So I want to jump in and grab some questions before I'm going to demo some things for you guys, because there are ways to create and prep your images. That's something that we didn't talk about. So real quick, just want to reset the room here. We are talking about sharing images during your live stream, because we had our friend, Mr. John, there it is, John Belcher. He asked the question in our Facebook group about the best ways to share images. And so that's what we're talking about today. So I am going to be talking about, I talked about just simply sharing your screen and having that image up. And then I also talked about adding it as an overlay like such. And then we also I talked about using adding the slides to your studio so that you can use them and like a slideshow in advance right there. So we talked about that. So if you're just now tuning in, those are the things we've covered. Definitely check in on the replay. I am going to talk to you about prepping. So prepping these files for the best experience for you and for your audience. Because like I said, you saw the one where the sides were cut off. We talked about that. I'm going to show you some tactics and some ways that you can actually make these files look the best on screen, because that's another piece of this as well. Okay, I saw some questions, so I'm going to take a second. So if you have questions, do me a favor, go ahead and put those in, because I'm going to spend a few minutes here and answer some questions. So if you have a question, put a Q in front of it. It does help me find your question faster versus just scanning through comments. So I want to make sure that I get to that. So real fast, Milda says, how do you make video like yours with the mouse and the yellow circle? That's a application called Screencast-O-Matic. It's a screen recording application. Loom is another really popular one. I really like Screencast-O-Matic. It's very inexpensive. It's like $20 a year. I can't even remember what it is anymore. It's really, really inexpensive, and it does create recording those types of videos, like tutorial style videos, really great. You can turn that little yellow cursor on and off. You can actually record yourself on screen. You can record yourself off screen. It's a great, great application for anyone recording any kind of tutorials on a computer. So Screencast-O-Matic is what I was using for that. Erica says, can an invitee also share their screen in this new way, or only admins? Okay, so great question, Erica. The guest, if you invite a guest on your screen, their access is not any different. So they can see comments and they can see the private chat. That's it. They can't control the stream. They can't do anything. They can share their own screen. Oh, I know what you're asking. I don't know, actually. So if you invite a guest to your StreamYard stream, they can share their screen. In fact, that's what a lot of guests do. They share their screen. They maybe do a presentation. They share a PowerPoint. Can they upload the slides? I doubt it, Erica, but I haven't tested that yet. I doubt it. And if there's anyone from the StreamYard team that knows the answer to that question, please throw it in the comments. But I don't think they would be able to, because it's your cloud that where the file goes, but maybe it's temporarily saved. I doubt it, but it's possible. That is possible. But I do kind of doubt it. So now an admin, so a StreamYard team member, whether they be an admin or just what is the other user profile called? Another user, they can absolutely control as well. The admins can control exactly that. They can advance your slides. If someone logs in on your account, they can do the same thing. So, but your guest, I'm not sure about your guest. That's a great question that we'll have to follow back up on for sure. Great question. I feel like I saw a couple more questions here. C3 Panthers podcast says you also don't have to have that awkward part where you aren't in presentation mode in Google Slides. Seems like it starts right away on presentation mode. Yeah, so there are definitely so here's what's going to happen. I want to make sure everybody knows this. When you are using that slide upload feature, the slide share, what it does is it's actually freezing all your slides. I will say that. So if you're using any animations or if you have videos or GIFs or anything in your presentation files like Google Slides or PowerPoint, it will freeze everything. It doesn't support animations. It basically makes those slides static, right? But again, we're talking about using this as an image slideshow feature for sure. Okay, saw another question here. And you can change the layout, including the new pip. Yes. So Sophie, yes, this is actually one of the reasons I like this because of that, honestly. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. So how do you, Razul says how to make the slide full size on screen. At the bottom of your screen, you're going to see it's the same as screen share. All the way to the right, you have a full screen. This one right here. So that is going to actually make it full screen. However, as you notice, it's not filling the screen. And the reason for that is because my slide is not the size. It's not the same ratio. And so again, if you want it to fill the screen, you definitely want to make sure that you design it at that 16:9 ratio so that it fills the full screen. So that is, if your file is 16:9, all you have to do is click on full screen layout and it's going to fill the screen. Your images, same thing with your images. So for sure. Erica, I think was a follow-up to her admins and co-hosts only or anyone who joins. I do not think your guests. I'm not sure about the guests, as we mentioned earlier. So Erica, I'll have to follow up with you on that one for sure. Okay. John Contrali says, can you recommend a PDF file program? So yes. Okay. So John Troncali, this is the next thing that we're definitely going to be talking about. So I do have some recommendations on how you can create PDFs. So again, if you're using a Mac, Keynote is not currently supported in this feature. So you'd want to convert it to a PDF for sure. Okay. Let me see. Real quick, All American Dream Chaser says, I accidentally deleted the 30-second countdown timer video. Is there a way to get it back? You'll want to just shoot an email to support@streamyard.com and use your email that you log in with, and they will definitely be able to take care of you and get you fixed up. Okay, let me see here. All right, let's see. Greg is following up to Pixel Pia's question. So he says, are the presentations staying forever on StreamYard servers? Well, I don't believe in the word forever because things can always change, right? But here's the deal. They are going to be saved there. So when you upload these files to the SlideShare, they are saved on the cloud. And I think you can have up to 15 files, I think. I don't think it tells me right here. I think it's up to 15 files. It's either 15 or 20, and there is a maximum file size of, I believe, 15 megabytes. So if your PowerPoint's 20 megabytes, you're definitely going to want to reduce the file size. You want to optimize whatever images you have in it so that it will save to you. But it is saved to the StreamYard server, and it will not come down until you delete it. Again, the word forever freaks me out because something can always change, right? Jan says, is StreamYard the same for Mac users than Windows, as I'm on a MacBook and only have one screen? So it is the same. So basically everything is the same. If you have one screen, it would be no different than someone on a laptop, a PC laptop that has one screen as well. But it is the same. So what you see is the demos that we show you. It's the same for a Mac as it is for a PC. Okay, next. Yeah, so Albitastic says, so you can make a series of small films at 1080p 16:9, that's correct, and then show them as part of your stream. Yes, so there's a couple ways you can do this. Sharing images, if you want to scroll through image by image, you would not want to make them a video file. Now, you can, but there is that as well. I will actually say you could totally make an animated image and share it as an animation. I did that. In fact, 2 weeks ago, I did a stream on video transitions, like video files as transitions, and we showed that. So for example, it would look, I deleted it. I deleted it today. So you can actually animate an image and make it kind of float and hover. You would just need it to be a video file that is going to start and stop. So yeah, for sure. Okay, questions. Yes, John, I will get to the PDF program. For sure. Okay, great question. So RD says, can you put your picture at any position, resize? No. So when you can't, right inside of StreamYard, you can't, right? Natively inside the application, you can't move things around. You can only use the actual like layouts. So you can't do it in StreamYard, but if you wanted to customize where it is, as Cherie was saying earlier, I am going to show you how you can do that. Okay. I am going to show you how you can do that here in just a moment. Get to a couple more questions, then we'll keep moving forward because you guys are definitely excited. Okay. Let me take a look. Alvin, I super duper appreciate that. So Alvin is letting us know. So Erica, your guests should be able to upload their slides. So if you have a guest that you've invited to your stream, as they can share their screen, they now also can upload a slide. My guess would be that when they leave the stream, it's going to delete that file. So that would be where it gets deleted. But thank you, Alvin, for following up. Super duper appreciate that. Okay. Perfect. Alex also tested it. So any guest can control the slides, but only team members can add or remove slides to the broadcast. Correct. So what we mean here, so just to clarify, what Alex is saying is guests can upload their files. They can even click on share screen, but admins, okay, the admins and the owner of the accounts are the only ones that can add it to the stream, meaning put it on screen. Once it's on screen, then the guests can actually then navigate their slides. So yes, great. Appreciate you guys testing that and letting me know for sure how we do that. Okay. Matthew Llewellyn says, when sharing an image full screen, my image disappears, but it's visible to the stream. Interesting. That sounds quirky. When sharing an image full screen, my image disappears, but it's visible to the stream. Okay. I believe, Matthew, you might be on a single monitor. If you're using a computer and you have one monitor or one screen, it is very difficult, in my opinion, to do any kind of screen sharing. It definitely makes it tricky. It will, like, applications minimize and do all kinds of things. It's hard. I find it very difficult. That's actually one of the main reasons I have two monitors, is because I do a lot of live streams where I'm doing demos, sharing my screen, doing stuff. So I have the second monitor for that. Plus, it's a life changer. It's a game changer. And once you have two monitors, you never go back. I just feel that way. But what I would do, Matthew Llewellyn, is I would convert those images to PDF files or Google Slides or whatever, and I would upload them that way, especially if you are on a single monitor or single screen. You're going to find using this slide share feature that I just showed you all way easier because of that. It's not going to minimize your StreamYard stream window and all that stuff. So definitely check that out. Okay, let's see here. Making sure I don't have any more questions. Super cool. Reading your comments here. Can you play audio tracks with these slides? So you could, but you would have to have an audio interface that will allow you to do it, whether it be a Rodecaster Pro or whether it be an application like Loopback or Voicemeeter. I personally use Wavelink. I use the Wave 3 microphone. It comes with software that actually it is a virtual mixer. And then when I go into StreamYard, I make sure I select that software as my microphone. And so anything I control in that mixer is going to play. Yes, it will play that audio because that's coming out of the microphone input into StreamYard. And when you have slides up, your microphone's not muted. So you would be able to, but not natively inside StreamYard as of right now. So good question though. But your audio will work when you have those. Okay, sweet. All right, cool. Donna says, how do you get the scrolling marquee? So, Donna, it's actually the banners. So everybody has banners in your StreamYard account. And so that's a scrolling one. It's called a ticker. You actually, when you create a banner, you are, it's going to look like this, but when you can also checkbox that you want it to scroll. And if you do that, it will do that right there. So that's how that works. Super, super easy. Okay. We're ready to keep going. There will be a replay. The replay is always here. We are live streaming and this isn't a webinar. This is live. This will be on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page. You can go back and watch it whenever you want. So they will absolutely stay up. Okay. Here's what I want to do next. I want to talk about prepping these files so that you can create the slideshow that you are desiring, right? Because I talked earlier, we talked about, if you just upload it right in, it's going to actually, if it's not the full screen, it's not going to fill the full screen. We also talked about using that slide share feature, which basically gave the same scenario. So let's talk about using some applications so that we can actually make them fill the screen, actually make them look the way we want. And even like Cherie said, maybe even create a custom way for you to share these images on screen for sure, right? Alvin, yes. Maybe that's what they were asking. So you're right. The slides do not play any audio. So if you have any animations, any other media inside these PowerPoints, they won't come through to StreamYard. The code does not work that way right now. So, and I'm not sure it ever will because of just the limitations. It basically will freeze those slides and that's how it will work. Okay. Let me see here. All right. Next, let's talk about using Canva. Right? We're going to talk about using Canva to create some cool images that you can use for your slides. Now, here's what's super cool. I showed you some pictures that are my photos, right? But you could also go to websites like Pixabay or Pexels. And as long as you have the appropriate license and you read the fine print, if it is available for you to use freely, you could use those images too. Canva is an application that you can design all kinds of things in. We use Canva all the time in my streams. I create my custom overlays. I create video files with Canva. Another application that's really popular, actually, that the StreamYard team uses is called Easel. So Easel is another application that will allow you to design graphics and create videos. It's actually, if you're an Adobe user, you might want to check out Easel. I actually find Easel to be pretty awesome. If you are not an Adobe user and you are super like, I've never used a design program in my life, I will honestly recommend Canva. But Easel has some additional features that Canva doesn't have. However, it is a little bit more geared towards the designer, right? That's used to using some of those like Adobe types of products. Both are awesome. I definitely recommend them. Now, you can also create slideshows and convert them to PDFs in PowerPoint and Keynote and Google Slides, of course. But let's talk about, I'm going to show you first, we're going to talk about Canva. So I'm opening up Canva. I'm actually going to go to a demo account because my account is like all over the place, kind of a hot mess. So I'm changing my team to a demo team. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen. Got to share my screen. I'm actually sharing my screen this time, not slides. All right, so here's my Canva account. So when you're in Canva, you're going to want to create a design. Now, as I talked about, I'm going to tell you that you want to create a design that's going to fill the screen. All right, so here's what's really cool. Canva now has presentation templates. I would highly recommend you simply use this because it's actually a super easy way. It's already going to be sized correctly, and you know for a fact it's going to function the way you want. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Now you're going to see some templates here and whatnot. Listen, we can get really fancy and design some super cool PowerPoints and slides and all that stuff. You should totally think about that. But again, this particular show is all about images. So I want to keep us on topic. I could design PowerPoints and slideshows and all that, all crazy things. We're going to be talking about sharing images today. Okay. So that's what we're doing. I definitely wanted to point that out because hello, right? I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. So, checking in on the comments. Gotta say hello to John Pullum. He's joined the stream. Wanted to say hello. Alex says, I do all my slides on Canva and use the share link. Super awesome as well. Love Canva for a million reasons, honestly, for sure. Okay, let me do the actual demo here. So let me go back to, we're going to go to this layout so that you can see, I don't want to cover anything up. So we're going to go to this layout right here. Here's what I'm going to do. You need to upload some files. Okay, so you're going to upload some files. Your pictures. So we're going to literally create a multi-page slideshow, for lack of a better term, so that we can share those images. Now, there's a couple ways we can do this. We can create a multi-page PDF, but we can also just make a single overlay image as we talked about. So earlier, Cherie made the comment that she likes to add images and create them as custom overlays so that she can control where those pictures go. That's certainly a fun way to do pictures. I'm going to show you something that maybe is a little outside the box for a lot of us that I think is super fun. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we're actually going to upload some files. I got a lot of files to upload here, so we're gonna upload all these. I literally went to Facebook and just grabbed some photos for fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start adding, this is the first page of our design. So I'm actually going to add our fish picture, right? Because it's fun. I'm gonna add it over here, okay? So, ooh, you know what? I know something's not gonna work in this particular, hold on, hold the phone. Okay, so I'm in a team version. All right, let me just do this. Everybody hold on a second, because I'm gonna wanna show you something that is a pro feature of Canva. Bear with me. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Here's what we're gonna do. Back up, let me restart, chill out. Here we go. Let's start out with the easiest thing, which is just creating some static images, okay? All right, so here's what we got. Let's pull up the fish, let's pull up a different one. Boating, because who doesn't love a good boat picture, right? Now, as you can see, these are square images. I'm going to run into the same problem I ran into earlier, where this is actually not gonna fill the screen. We want it to fill the screen. And so that's what I need to figure out, right? We gotta change the design, or I gotta crop the photo, right? Okay, so first I'm gonna do is crop the photo. So I'm gonna make the photo large, and I'm gonna come over here, and I'm going to basically drag it over, and then if I drag it here, it's gonna go ahead and just crop in and let me fill the screen. Now I have filled the screen. I'm gonna rearrange it so that we can get it on there the best way possible. That did not do what I wanted it to do. There we go. So now I double click it and I can kind of center it better, right? So there's that image is now going to fill the screen. So all I have to do is download the file as a PDF. Well, I can download it as a PDF. I can also download it as a image and upload it as the overlay. That was the version we talked about earlier. So let's do that first. We're just gonna download it as a file. It's downloading right now. So the other thing I wanna do that I wanna make sure I point out is image share. I'm gonna show you some different ways to do this, because I'm gonna show you the easy ways, and I'm gonna show you some things that are a little outside the box that I want you to be thinking about. So now that I have that JPEG file, if I can find the image, I'm gonna upload that image and I'm gonna show it here. I'm also going to show you what it would have looked like if I didn't do what I did. So the first version I'm gonna show you is this one. That's that same image as it was on my computer, but as you can see, it's not covering the screen. This is an overlay. So if you're gonna use overlays, know that it's going to center the photo, and if it's not a 16:9 ratio, it's not going to fill the screen. So what we did was we changed that photo, we cropped it in, and we made it fill a 16:9 ratio. And so I uploaded this version, and it fills the screen. So there's the same photo, but it is literally filling the whole screen now. I am still behind this image. It's an overlay version of sharing a photo. So I wanted to make sure I showed this to you because, again, you may have some images. Go into Canva, create your images super easily, and do what you want. Now, the other thing you can do when you're doing this type of presentation is you can add other stuff to it. You can add a logo to it. You could add graphics to it, whatever you want, right? So I wanted to show that to you guys because that's an easy way to edit your photos so that they will fill a screen fully. Now, I'm gonna actually show you something super cool. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do next. Sorry, I keep getting out of sorts here. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing with some other images, but because I can design however I want, I can actually, let's do some highlights from my golf trip I took this summer. Actually, it was just this September. So let's do this. So I'm actually gonna do 2 photos on screen, just like that. So again, you can actually rearrange photos, design the layouts however you want to do them, right? And so that's actually another super great thing that you can do as well. So definitely be playing around with that, be playing around with all those different features in Canva. Design it however you want. And then let's do one more picture that we're going to crop in. Hopefully the resolution on that's okay. So we're gonna zoom this in and I'm gonna move it so we can see the golf course. That is actually from the top of Tiger Woods' golf course called Paynes Valley. That is, I love. It's super awesome. It's a super fun place. Okay, let's keep going. Let me check in. Everybody, you and Doug are the cutest couple ever. Well, thank you, John. We have a lot of fun together. That is definitely for sure. Okay, so now I have 3 images in this design, as you can see down here, right? So I'm actually going to go ahead and create a PDF. So we're going to download this design file as a PDF because, as we talked about, you can now upload these files into StreamYard directly as a PDF. So we'll do sample slideshow. So we're going to call it. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do what we did earlier, and I'm going to add that particular PDF that I just created in Canva. So I'm going down, I'm going to be adding them in StreamYard as I showed you earlier. And it's uploading and processing in my StreamYard studio backstage. And once it's done, I can then add these images. So again, if you have images that are not the full size and you want to create that slideshow, make it a PDF. Go use Canva. That is the free version of Canva where you can create these slides or these slideshows and convert them to PDFs. You can add them as overlays if you're using any of our paid plans where you can upload custom overlays. Or if you just want to share pictures and just keep it simple, you can also do it that way. So now I'm going to show you what this looks like. So we're going to add it to the stream. And here is the same thing I just showed you, but in a slideshow. I can now scroll through those various images that I just created using Canva. And so you can do this in Easel. You could do the same thing in PowerPoint, Keynote, any of those. Take your various images, put them into a 16:9 ratio file, and then add them with our slide share feature, and you can scroll back around between them all. And you can change the layouts, which is what I really like about using this feature. Let me take this banner down. So I can be on screen with you. Hey, and I can go through and talk about my vacation, talk about our golf trip, how I beat golf at all 3 rounds of golf that we played. And it was a lot of fun. And sometimes he beats me, but a lot of times I beat him. I can talk about how we love to go boating. And this is in Southern Indiana at Lake Monroe. And we love to take the boat out, and we like to do all those fun things. Again, I'm just kind of showing you pictures. I can also go to the news layout that we talked about earlier, right? And again, I can advance through these pictures right inside the dashboard. This, in my opinion, is the best way for you to share images on a screen, on a stream, because you can go to these different layouts and be on screen, talk about things. If you had a guest, your guest would be visible with you as well. So I love this feature. I love that now we can now add these multi-page PDFs, or if you like Google Slides, you can do the same thing in Google Slides or Keynote, in PowerPoint, and do it. So I just showed you how you can take your pictures and do all this super fun stuff inside Canva. So there's that. That is the way that I really was excited to share with you guys about the way that you can modify your images, make them fill the screen so that you can then get the presentation you want, right? So all free plans, you can share slides, you can share PDFs, you can use Canva as a free application, you can use the paid one, but the free application is going to allow you to convert any images to PDFs, just like I showed you, right? There's other applications out there as well. I believe Keynote, if you have Keynote, it'll do the same thing. PowerPoint, same thing. If you have those applications, you can absolutely design your image slide shows in there and export them as PDFs and then upload them as I just showed you. So for sure, right? Eric says, can you be on screen on the right-hand side too? So you are referring to the picture-in-picture. As of right now, this is the only picture-in-picture layout that we have. And then, of course, there's also this version of our layout that you are over on the left side. As of right now, that's the way it is. You can't rearrange this. You can't move it to the right side. So definitely one of those things. Carlos, how do you scroll through slides as PDFs? So I'm going to actually replay this demo really fast because we do have a lot of new people joining. So let me just show the demo really quick on how we actually use this slide share feature and advance through each slide. So here's a little demo video I made. You go down to the bottom, you click on share, and now you see slides. Upload those files, whether it be the Google Slides or PDF or PowerPoint files from your computer into StreamYard. It's going to process those files. The larger files are going to take a little bit longer, so just keep that in mind. And once it's done, it's going to be available for you to add to your stream, which we add it. And then as you can see, you have the controls right there to toggle and advance different through the slides. This works for PDF, PowerPoint, and Google Slides. There's 3 places you can do this. And then you can even jump from one slide to another. And then as I just showed you, you can rearrange those layouts as well. well. So that's actually how you do that. So that was a great question. Definitely wanted to show that really fast. Okay, so Magic Film Potato, or Magic Flying Potato says, I wish that you could modify the picture-in-picture. I do believe a lot of people have asked for that. It is highly possible that that will be a future feature as well. So Pixel Pia says, is there an advantage to use PDF over slides? There really isn't, in my opinion. The only thing you might find is, I at least find many times, PowerPoint files, especially if you're uploading images that are high file sizes, large file sizes, it maintains that file size. So the PowerPoint file might be too big. Again, you can only upload up to 15 megabyte files here. So if you convert it to a PDF, it is possibly going to optimize that file size. But honestly, there really is no advantage of using PDF versus a PowerPoint other than that, honestly. So that would be your advantage, is that the PDF file might be more optimized, so you might be able to get more photos in that presentation. But that's a great question. So John says, so it only works with PDFs and not JPEGs. That is correct. As of right now, the slide share, the slide upload, the slide share feature works with PowerPoint files, Google Slides, and PDFs. So pretty much, as I just showed you, anyone can convert pictures to PDF files by using an application like Canva. And now I want to show you some even more fun things where you can do some super cool customizations. Are there hotkeys? So Jay says, are there hotkeys to scroll through the pictures, or are you just using the arrow keys? Arrow keys, do the arrow keys work? Let me try. I haven't tested arrow keys. No. So nothing, you have to click on screen. As of right now, Jay, there are not hotkeys, and the arrow keys don't work either. Let me do a quick check. I'm going to go to my hotkeys and just make sure. Not yet. As of right now, there are no hotkeys for next tab, previous tab. No, not yet. So Jay Moore, the hotkeys that was just released is version 1. Now that this has been added, it's highly possible that there will be a hotkey for this. I mean, I can totally see that coming, but that's a great feature request, great feedback as this new feature has just been rolled out. So definitely submit that. I would absolutely submit that as a feature request, because I agree. Right now, I have to use my mouse and I have to be on the screen and I have to click on those little arrows. It would be super slick, super awesome if I could just use a hotkey on my keyboard, or even program it to my Stream Deck and to be able to do that. Okay, super cool. Donna says, is there a setting to have the audience questions show on screen as examples here? Day one today. Yeah, Donna, you know what you're going to want to do? You definitely need to go register for one of our webinars. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. So many awesome tutorials on there. Everyone can do exactly what I'm doing. So there's not a setting. It's actually a feature. So here's what I always say about StreamYard. Just honestly, if you're getting started with StreamYard, create your account, go create a private Facebook group, right? And just go live and just play around with everything. You can't break anything, right? You can't break anything. But yeah, you just click on a comment and it displays it, and then click on it again and it takes it away. So super, super fun stuff. Okay, let's stay focused on image sharing. Let's keep our thing on image sharing. If you're just now joining us, we are answering the question that John posted about sharing slides, sharing images for his stream. So he said he typically shares 7 or 8 per episode, and he's currently using the share screen tab, which of course we talked about in the beginning of this episode, and he has different photos open in different tabs. I personally want to see everybody taking it to the next level, maybe using a program like Canva or even PowerPoint, and creating your own different slides, and then convert those to PDFs and upload them in, and use the share slides feature inside StreamYard. Definitely a super, super cool thing. Okay, let's have some fun. I'm going to show you guys I'm going to show you guys something else. Again, this is a think outside the box style that I want to make sure that I show you guys, okay? Real fast, though, I'll answer a couple more questions. So Carlos says, can you hear audio on PowerPoint slides? No. As of right now, none of the other media will come through. So no animations, so meaning slide transitions, even text transitions, no GIFs or videos or any audio files that are in your PowerPoint or presentations files. Those do not come through. They just will come through as static images, essentially. Okay. Okay, awesome. Getting in here, see if we have any more questions about image sharing before I keep going. All right. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's keep going because I want to show you some fun stuff. Will StreamYard play GIFs if a video is converted to a GIF? Yes. It has to be 3 megabytes or less. And you can upload it into the overlay section or the background section. So GIFs will work as long as they are 3 megabytes or less. If it is a video file and it's larger, then just upload it to the video section. Honestly, that's what I would recommend. Okay, here's what I'm gonna show you guys next. All right. Okay, I gotta switch things up here. Let me switch a couple things up. I'm gonna show you a couple of other fun ways where you can share images in your screen or in your streams, okay? So I'm over in Canva and I am going to, ooh, I think I can use this one. Yeah, let's use this one. Okay, cool. I am going to go back to, oh my goodness. Hold on. Okay, create a design presentation. Sorry about that. All right. I am in Canva again. And so what I'm actually going to show you a couple things. Now, you are going to need a pro account for what I'm going to show you for Canva. Canva is an amazing tool, and personally, it's worth every penny. It is still really cheap. It is not an expensive application for what you get and what it will do. And the pro account will allow you to create transparent files. This is a different way to share images on your screen that give it a little bit more of a custom look. We talked about the ways to fill the screen and all that. This is going to be a little different. Okay, so let's go back to, let me upload those images again so that we can have some fun. Okay, so let me share my screen. Go back to sharing Canva. Okay, so there we go. Back in Canva again. I've uploaded my images here. So we have images uploaded. Whoops, got other images in here too. So this white box, think of this white box as your stream window. Because I'm using the presentation file size, which the file size is actually 1920 by 1080. You could actually design it at the smaller size, which would make this one 720. But 1920 by 1080 is a great file size. When you're in Canva, just simply go and say, do you want to design a YouTube thumbnail or you want to design a PowerPoint or a presentation? And it's going to automatically create the file size at the size that's going to fill the screen. So this is our stream. Think of this as our stream window. And when I say stream window, I mean this window right here, okay? Think of it as that. So we are going to add some images to this graphic. Now, keep in mind, we are using this is going to require a pro account. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to put this image over here. So many of you are like, oh, I really like that feature of, this view. We call this our news layout. But a lot of you are like, but I really kind of wish I could change this up. I wish I could do it different. Well, this is the way you can actually customize this. So I'm actually going to put it over on the left, and I'm going to kind of make this, I'm going to zoom in and change the orientation of the photo, okay? So we've got this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to export this, okay? I'm going to export this file as a PNG, and I'm going to select transparent background. This is a pro feature, pro feature. Everybody please understand, pro feature, and I'm going to download that file. Now, as that's downloading, I'm then going to upload that file into my overlays. That also requires a StreamYard paid feature. So uploading custom overlays is a essentials plan, a basic plan, or a pro plan feature. If you're not sure what I mean about essentials is a special plan that we are offering only right now during the Cyber Week that we have. And it is basically a plan in between free and basic. It is $10 a month, and it does give you the feature of uploading your own overlays. You are going to have a StreamYard watermark in your streams, but you can actually be on that plan as well. If you're on a basic plan or pro plan, then you've already got this. You can upload your own overlays. So let's see, overlay 1. I'm just gonna, we're demoing. I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna show you what this is gonna look like. But we're gonna have some fun here. I'm gonna show you a super fun way. So this was kind of like what Cherie was talking about earlier, where she creates her own kind of transparent overlays with images, and there it is. So this is an overlay, and I have the image in there. It's exactly what you saw over here on Canva, right? There it is. Oh, let me turn my overlay off. That's what we designed, but it's actually over here, and now it's an overlay where I can turn it on and turn it off, right? Super fun. So you could create a series of overlays with the different images and bring it on screen. You could put it wherever you want on screen, right? The thing you want to keep in mind when you're designing overlays is that it is an overlay. It will not move around. So, if you've got a logo, if you put the image up in here in your overlay and you have your logo displayed, there's just going to be a lot of different things. So design around what your stream looks like. The other thing, as you notice, is that my face is right next to the picture, and if I'm not careful, I could be behind it. What I like about this news layout is that it automatically moves you out of the way, right? So it moves you out of the way. But let me show you a super fun way that I think is super creative that I want you to think about when it comes to designing and sharing these images. So I'm actually going to take this file, I'm going to delete it, I'm going to add it again. I'm just going to select it. I'm going to make it smaller. And as you can see, Canva's telling me what size I'm making it. And I'm going to put it up here in this upper corner. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this page and I'm going to add another image and I'm going to make it small. I'm actually going to try to make it the same size. So I'm going to move it down here. And then I'm going to duplicate this page. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another photo. And I'm going to make it the same size. I'm going to just drag it and let it, these lines help me. These are little lines that help me and it snaps into place. So now I know I'm designing it the same size, right? And then I'm going to duplicate that page. And those of you that are Canva users, you probably can predict what I'm going to be doing here. So then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add the fourth image. Which image should we add? Let's add a winter photo. So we'll add this one. And we'll make it the right size and in the right position. Oops. There we go. Okay. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 photos. So what I'm actually going to do this time is I'm going to export each of these as individual files. And then I am going to add them into my overlays and I'm going to show you the sequence that I just created. Actually, let's do one more for fun. Oops, I don't want to do that. Delete that page. Duplicate. The reason I'm duplicating is because I want these images to be in the same place each time. There we go. Okay, so now I have 5 pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to export these files, transparent PNGs. Now I'm going to go ahead and export all of the pages. What that does is it's going to just put them in a zip folder. And then I just need to open those files up and do something different. Cherie says, yep, Mel, that's exactly what I do. There you go. So you can definitely have a lot of fun with this, but I'm showing you kind of a different way, something a little different, a little bit more creative, maybe something that maybe you didn't think about, right? And so that's what I wanted to show everybody today. Okay. We're getting there. Let me check on you guys in the comments while I get this prepped and ready to go. G drums. I haven't been able to upload GIF even though it's less than 3 megabytes. How do I do this? How can I do this? You can only upload them into overlays and into backgrounds. So make sure you're not trying to upload GIF files into videos because it won't accept the file. And they have to be less than 3 megabytes, meaning like 2.9999. So if it's 3 megabytes, I don't think it works, but it has to be 2.9999 or less. If it's not working for you, then contact support at StreamYard.com. Also, you have to be on a paid plan for it to work. But if it's not working and all those things are set, then definitely reach out to support at StreamYard.com. Okay, let me get these files ready. Louise has a really great idea. Everybody read that. I'm going to come back to that in a sec while I get these files uploaded into StreamYard. So I'm going to be getting that ready. You guys read his comments. A really, really good idea, actually. Okay, I got to unzip it first. Okay, we're almost there. By the way, I also love that I can now do bulk uploads. Super fantastic. I can upload all those files at the same time instead of having to do them individually. So those are all uploading. So Louise says, you can save the PowerPoint or Keynote as a movie and then share as a video. You will have audio. You just have to make sure your transition timing is on point with how you will do the presentation. He is absolutely correct. So if you do have a presentation that has other media in it, then you could take your PowerPoint, convert it to you have to go into your transitions, edit the timing of the slides, and you would export it as an MP4 file that you then could upload to the video section of PowerPoint, but it will play as a video, meaning it will play and you can, you just have to keep that in mind. You could also use the video share feature where it will let you play the video, but then you can pause it as well. So super good idea if you do have a presentation that has media in it as well, okay? Okay. Christian says, is there a limit for overlays? Probably. I don't know what that limit is because I've never reached it, but I'm sure there is, but I actually wish I knew the answer to that, Christian. I don't know for certain. I do know that one of the things that's super cool is make sure if you do have a lot of overlays, one of the best ways to keep things organized is actually to create brand folders. So you can create different brand folders and you can it's going to have a whole different set of overlays. So even if you have 3 segments of your show and each segment has like 20 overlays, instead of having 60 overlays in StreamYard, which I don't even know if it would accept 60, you could create a brand folder for each segment and do 20 in each one. And then that is actually a super cool thing. So definitely be thinking about brand overlays for sure too. What's up, Cynthia? Purgatory Paranormal of New York is lurking. I love it. Fantastic. I like it when people are multitasking and hanging out with me. And I'm so glad you said hello. I'm so glad you said hello. Nomerson says, how about animated GIF overlays? Yes. In fact, we've done lots of videos about that. They just have to be less than 3 megabytes. You can create a GIF file, upload it into the overlay section. As I said earlier, you can upload GIFs in overlays and backgrounds. They just have to be less than 3 megabytes and they will work. The GIFs will loop. So they will loop until you turn it off for sure. Okay, good to know. 50. I've hit the limit for banners, at least banners, 50 per brand folder. And then Felix and Shirley both are letting me know 100 limit for overlays. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sure, Shirley, and both per brand folder. Perfect. Good to know. Appreciate you guys helping me out with that one. I literally have never uploaded 100 overlays. So definitely one of those crazy things. Okay, let's see here. Let me... If you guys, I'm about to show you the cool thing. So if you're just joining, we are actually talking about using images and sharing images in your live streams. I've showed a ton of ways to do it. I'm about to show the last kind of creative way that we can do these live streams. I will, let me check my calendar. I think I can hang out a little longer for some fun Q&A. Heck yes, I can. I can hang out a little longer for some Q&A. All right, here's the super thing. All right, here's what we're going to do. I just designed those various files in Canva, and now I'm going to show you what they look like as we use them. So let's say you're doing a live show and you want to go through a series of photos. Well, you can, of course, add them as a slide share, advance those slides, of course, right? We talked about that. But what if you want to get a little bit more custom, right? Well, what if I pulled up my first image and I said, hey, this was a super fun fall day. I was walking through Mounds Park earlier in the month and it was like peak leaves. It was absolutely gorgeous. Freaking loved it. Earlier in the month, we actually took a trip to Branson, Missouri, the area, and we went golfing. And we had a lot of fun. So as you can see here, I love to go hiking, especially in the fall, and I absolutely love to golf. Now, earlier in the year, back in the spring, we took a trip down to the Rosemary Beach, Florida area, and we went deep sea fishing, and it was a ton of fun. I caught this big red snapper. I definitely brought the biggest fish in the boat, which I'm very proud of because I'm kind of competitive like that. And it was a lot of fun. It was me fishing with all the boys and I brought in the biggest fish and I'm just proud of it. And then honestly, one of the things that we also love to do that we did a lot this summer is we love to go boating. We like to go walking in the winter snow. I forgot what image was coming next. You get the gist, right? You get the gist. I'm telling you a story. I'm sharing stuff about myself. But instead of having one image up on screen at the same time, I'm showing you a series of images. And then, of course, we can cap it all off with that image that is maybe not centered of we love to go boating. Here's the lake where we like to go. This is actually earlier in the year before before it got warm out, and we were taking a hike on the trails around Prairie Creek Reservoir here in our local areas. We're really, really blessed to have all these things. Now, these are not me pulling up individual images. These are individual overlays. We designed them over in Canva, as I showed you, and I literally uploaded each of them. And so overlay number 1 has one picture, overlay number 2 has both, 3, 4, and 5. And I designed that in Canva, and that's why I duplicated the pages so that it would feel seamless for everyone. So you notice this image is here. I didn't redesign the page. I just duplicated it and added another image, and so on, and so on, and so on. And so I actually think this is a super fun way that you can also add images and share images in your streams, but you would need to, of course, have the transparent ability in Canva or whatever design application. Photoshop, you can do this in Photoshop. You could even do this. I think you can export transparent files in Keynote. I don't know about PowerPoint, but you can certainly, wherever you can design these different pages and have a transparent background, you could design these things. You do have to be on one of StreamYard's paid plans so that you can actually use the overlay feature, which is what I did. So super fun stuff, definitely a lot of fun. That I wanted to point out to you guys, right? So I hope you guys like that. Did you think that was different? Very different, a little bit unique. I don't see a lot of people doing that in their streams, but I always like to kind of throw a little think outside the box creative way, because when we think about sharing images on our streams, I think we just think of what I showed you at first was, hey, how do you use the screen share? How do you put it on screen and show everybody your vacation trips, whatever. Yes, this is great. And StreamYard gives you all these different layouts to allow you to go through these different things and show these different, aspects of these images. And then, you obviously have those options, but why not take it a little further and get a little bit more custom and just have some fun, right? So just have some fun with it. So what did you guys think about that? I wanted to kind of show you guys some fun and see what you guys thought. So, Video for Bosses says, ooh, I like this. Well, I'm so glad you like it. You guys are talking about brand folders too. Okay. All right, let me see. I may have to do a demo on that one, right? Okay, let's keep checking. Robin Vanata says, what kind of voodoo magic is this? Definitely gonna have to watch the replay to see what I missed. Yeah, definitely watch the replay. I used Canva to design that, to create that super fun thing. So wanted to point that out. Yes. So Trisha says this video will be available after live. So all of our live streams, that's the beauty of live video. We don't remove them. So we go live and we keep them up. So you can watch the replay anytime after the live. They will be on our YouTube channel. And if you're watching on Facebook, which of course Trisha is, then yes, this will be on our Facebook page. You can just go to our videos tab and you'll be able to find it. And then of course you can find our the same thing over on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, good. Dean is letting me know that you can export transparent files from PowerPoint. So I use Canva. I love Canva. I think it's great. You could use any of those other applications for sure. Smackdown Outdoors, I'm actually super excited you were watching, because I literally was thinking about you and your show. I've seen your show a few times, and it's a super fun show. They do a lot of cool things. It's also a podcast. But anyway, a lot of you guys are doing some cool things. But I also like to shout out to some of our StreamYard users that are doing really unique style streams and finding ways to maximize the product. And Smackdown Outdoors is definitely one of those people that stands out to me. But I definitely I was hoping you'd be watching, because I think you could do the same thing in your streams, have these different kind of overlays popping up as you go, for sure. So Cherie, I'm glad that was a nice, fun thing for you as well. She says, thanks for an excellent idea of adding the different pages of photos. Gives me something new to add. Yeah, you can definitely have some fun with that and, take it to the next level. So for sure. Oh my gosh, you guys are so awesome. So I want to check in on you guys and make sure that I'm not missing anything super important. So the brand folders, you guys are loving the brand folders. So how many brand folders can you have? Oh my gosh. Again, I don't know. I mean, A lot. I think you can have a lot. I've never maximized that stuff. So if anybody knows the answer to that, definitely let us know in the comments what we can have. I know a lot about StreamYard, everybody. I'm a live streaming mentor for all of you guys here. I am working with our brand partnerships. And of course, I'm a content creator for our channel and of course, the host of the show. But man, I don't know everything. I wish I did. I wish I knew the answer to that question, but I don't know how many you can have. Definitely, for sure, wanted to let everybody know that over on our YouTube channel, we have so many videos. So there's a lot of you are saying you're new in here. This is new for you. You're learning new things. I definitely want you to go check out our YouTube channel because a lot of you are asking a lot of great questions, but also our YouTube channel has a lot of videos about those specific things. So let me just grab a hold of our YouTube channel really fast and show you what I'm talking about. So head on over. I mean, if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're not on YouTube, go to the YouTube channel because there's a lot of content there that maybe you're missing out on because you aren't seeing that. So let me show you. So all these videos, look at all these videos. So many videos. There are tutorial videos that are on here. There are live stream reviews where Christian basically does like live Q&A and like they literally bring people up on screen. Let me see they bring people up on screen and they help them make their live streams better. Of course, we have the Ask StreamYard, which are all of the Ask StreamYard shows that I do. But if you go up here to just videos, and you see all this stuff. Nick Nimmin was live yesterday sharing all kinds of great tips. There are so many great videos over on our YouTube channel. So make sure you go subscribe because again, somebody was asking about overlays, right? Animated overlays. Like I've done a video about that. There's how to use a smartphone, right? There's picture-in-picture layout that Christian teaches you how to use. We've got so many things in here. Filters for live streams. There's a video somewhere where I did about organizing your streams and using those brand folders, right? So here it is right there. There it is. How do you stay organized in your StreamYard? So definitely go check out the channel because there's a lot of really great stuff over there that I want to make sure y'all know. So super good stuff. Okay, I probably have time for a couple questions. So let me just check on y'all. Let me check on everybody here in our 10 brand folders. Shirley, thank you for stepping up. Super duper appreciate you helping us out. So pretty sure we have 10 brand folders is the maximum that we can create. And as Shirley said earlier, was it 50 banners and 100 overlays? Is that right? Or did I get it backwards? Oh my gosh, I gotta like take notes when I'm talking over here. So, okay, what do we have? Let's see. And if you have feature requests, as we talked about earlier, if you have feature requests, definitely use this form. If you go to StreamYard.com/contact, there's actually a link there where you can fill out feature requests. And so do that. If you have great ideas, we love your ideas. It's how we continue to make the stream better and improve. Go there. That's the best place for your feature ideas and feature feedback to get heard. So go over to StreamYard.com/contact and you will see a link there for you to click that will let you fill out a form. So definitely wanted to point that out to y'all. Okay. Nomersome, you're going to want to check out a video I did a long time ago. Let me see if I can find it. It is so old. Almost a year old, actually. Here it is. All right. So it's not ideally was that. Let me get the link here. So I'm going to actually share a link in the comments. So if you're watching on Facebook or on our YouTube page, you're going to see this. So Nomersome, I want you to go check out this video. It's essentially going to teach you mostly what you're trying to do. But here's what I will tell you. As of right now, Canva doesn't allow you to export a transparent GIF file. So you can design something in Canva, like a video, make a video file in animation, but then you have to use another application to remove the background. You could use Kapwing. Well, Kapwing's kind of buggy. Wave Video actually is something you might want to check out. And then even Easel is another application as well. But definitely check that out. So, okay. There we go. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate it. Dean Hankey helping me out for sure. 50 banners and 100 overlays, 10 brand folders. Thank you. So 50 banners and 100 overlays per brand folder, but then you have 10 brand folders where you can organize your streams. Greg is definitely giving a shout out to Photopea, also a really cool application as well, an easy one to use. So definitely check that out for sure. Okay, well, this was fun. I certainly hope that y'all definitely thought this was fun. I wanted to show you some great ways to share those images, but also some creative ways to share images for your streams. And of course, definitely highlight our new slide share feature, because that is a huge piece. I think it's a game changer when it comes to sharing images or photos or even just slides that you create in your stream. So definitely use photos. Do as much as you can to share photos, because as you're telling stories and showcasing things, it is going to add a new level of interest to your stream. So I love that this was asked, because I definitely think that everyone should be exploring this. And with that new slide share feature, anyone can be sharing photos, right? So anyone can, whether you're on a free plan or a paid plan. So, and if you have a question that you want us to consider featuring in an upcoming show, go over to our Facebook group, post your question, and use that hashtag #AskStreamYard. That is definitely one of the greatest ways that we can not only support you, but also maybe take your question and highlight it in one of our shows. So if you're not part of the Facebook community, definitely go over to Facebook, ask for or search for StreamYard community. It's going to pop up right there for you. Join the community and get all the support and all the help that you need right there. And then, of course, if you have questions or any kind of weird, quirky things going on with your account, you can always email support@streamyard.com, and one of our team members will definitely get you, either point you in the right direction of a tutorial video that they want you to watch, or maybe help you out with your account if you're having some trouble. So definitely wanted to make sure everybody knows about our Facebook group, because it is absolutely one of the best places to get help quickly, whether it be from a StreamYard team member or from one of the people like everybody here watching in the stream. It's one of those things that I love about our community, is how everybody just helps each other out. So thank you for everybody who was watching and tuning in. Thank you for everybody who has actually been hanging out with us week after week after week. And I know a lot of you also are followers of my own YouTube channel @Melanie Dyann. So super love seeing all of the common faces, the common names, and getting to know each of you and what you need and how you love to use this product. I love StreamYard. I love live video. And so if you're a beginner, just get going with it, right? Get going with it. Have some fun with it, because starting today means you're going to be that much better tomorrow. If you keep waiting till tomorrow to get started, well, guess what? Tomorrow just keeps on going on and going on and going on. I started out doing live videos, and they were really basic and really simple, and I've come a really long way because I kept going. And so I definitely want to encourage you to get started. I think StreamYard is the best application, makes it super easy. You can even use StreamYard on your phone. Just go to StreamYard.com, and you have almost all the same features, and it's a lot of fun. And you will make an impact with live video. You will see your audience grow. You will get to know your audience like we are getting to know all of you. You'll see the same faces over and over again, and you're just going to have a lot more fun, and it's just going to go somewhere, right? So get going with it today. Have fun with it. Tinker around, play with the features, practice it. You can even practice all the stuff I showed you today without even going live. That's what's so cool about StreamYard, is you don't even have to go live. You can play around with it and practice it. So again, I just want to give a big shout out, say thanks to everybody for joining the stream today, commenting, asking great questions. And then of course, as I said, I love seeing you all come back week after week. So I'll be back again next week at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I have a super awesome stream coming up next week. I can actually just go ahead and tell you, you know how everybody always has questions about like legal stuff around live streaming, like whether it be music, or do you have to ask permission of the coffee shop owner if you want to go live? Guess what? I have a lawyer coming on next week as a special guest, and we are going to do a live Q&A around all that stuff. So if you've got questions around what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, whether you should have your guest, sign some sort of like waiver or something, next week, let's talk about it, right? I got a special guest coming on next week. He is a lawyer, and he does specialize in this area. And so I'm super stoked about it. But make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of those other uploads that we do, awesome tutorials that we have that come out. And then hopefully I'll see y'all again next week. I love seeing everybody come back over and over and over again. And so yeah, let's just have some fun and be ready to go do some things. But get going live. And just as I say all the time, don't forget to make it fun. You got to make it fun. All right, everybody. Have an awesome rest of your day. See you later.